I mean, I got to tell you, when I saw this program and what you were doing, I had been looking for this solution for quite some time. So it was like the answer to my prayers.
Great. Happy to
but,
help.
but but anyway, like what I do, I've been in the internet marketing space since it began.
Mhm.
I started off in SEO back in the mid 90s, did a lot of web development, built, pretty good sized company over the years providing business services. And then in about 2010, I started training people on doing their own marketing using an ad agency formula.
Mhm.
And I called it ACT, ACT. And it stands for analysis, creation, and traffic. And inside there, in each one of those three buckets, I have all the formulas from ad agencies. And as much as I could teach, like just spoon feed everyone, no one could do it. It was like crazy. Like this tool right here, market segmentation. I
Mhm.
told them, I go, you have to start here. You have to segment the market and decide which segment you're going to go after so you can build a buyer avatar. And like nobody would do this. So when they got to the buyer, they were all confused of who their buyer was,
Mhm.
and they just fell on their face. So anyway, this has allowed me to go in and use my prompts that I've been using over the last year or so and build tools for all of my users so they could actually do their own marketing now. It's
Got it.
really, really cool. Like
Got
even
it.
even prompting is an art. Like I can teach people prompting, but then having them try and do it, it's like forget it. So this has allowed me to make it promptless for them.
Yeah,
Like
I mean that's the idea, right? So you have your knowledge about your marketing formula and you have your way of doing it, but
yeah,
then your option was kind of to teach people, but it's,
yeah,
teaching versus actually giving them tools that does the job is like a huge difference.
yeah. Like this tool, all they have to do is just put in their specific market, and
Do
it
you have
will
some
give them.
results generated at the bottom we can look at?
Yeah, like
Got it.
like here's one for landscape,
hmm
and it goes from highest to lowest. This
hmm
is the most profitable. And then you got commercial, you got public. If you go all the way down to number 10, it's hobbyists. You don't want to go there. That's not
hmm
a profitable market.
hmm
So this
So,
thing slices it up and tells you here's where you focus. And then you
got
can
it.
take that, you can go take that to the next step, which is the build a buyer tool. And you can put in your market segment and then the product that you're offering. And then this is about a 13-page prompt
hmm
in this tool. And like here, um, this is high end residential landscapes and lawn trucks. So it tells who the buyer is, a description of them, their core problem, the emotions that that problem is causing, the fears that those emotions are creating, and then here how it's affecting key relationships to this person. Like this is like what's happening in their relationships, their spouse, their family, their friends. Yeah, and here's hurtful things those relationships might say.
hmm
So knowing this stuff when you create your marketing is like invaluable. This is like getting inside their head. Here's other solutions that they've probably tried. Here's sound bites about the failures of those things that they've tried. So this is like everything you need to know about your buyer.
hmm
Here's things they don't want to do to fix their problem. So if you're trying to sell them on your thing and you're trying to tell them to do things they don't want to do, you're not going to make a sale. That ain't
hmm
happening. Here's sound bites about what they don't want to do, and it just goes on and on and on. So this is the build a buyer script, and then from there, and by the way, all these images, all the icons, I built with your image tool.
hmm
So inside here, even these, this is like one of the hero images.
hmm Looks great.
So and then you can go to real competition, and I tell them like, I use a chiropractor as an example. And again, you just put the market and the product, and it will tell you who your competitors are. Like, for instance, a chiropractor, if you think the chiropractor is his competitors or other chiropractors, you're wrong. Back pain is the market. The product is chiropractic adjustments. So physical therapy, you're dealing with physical therapy. You're dealing with massage, acupuncture, pain meds, yoga, osteopathy, hot cold therapy. I'd never even heard of that. But apparently that's a competitor for a chiropractor.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I have heard of it. I've never used it. I don't even know what exactly they do, but I've seen people do that. It is like if you have back pain, that is an option.
Yeah. But here it also gives you the top 3 competitors in each one of these, so you can go look and you can see what you're actually up against. So these tools for a marketer are absolutely invaluable. And then here's and fears is what this person, like what this buyer is actually hearing in the marketplace and what fears that's creating. Like from chiropractic, he might be hearing, oh yeah, I had a chiropractor and he almost broke my back. So it gives you all your objections, and then we've got eliminating objections here. We've got buying triggers. This is all the stuff that they need to hear to trigger them to actually want to buy your product. This comes up with creative lead magnet ideas to build a mailing list. This is the big idea formula. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but this comes from David Ogilvy out of the 50s.
Tell me about it. David Ogilvy is the OG.
Yeah. He is like, this is his formula. So I have scripted his formula to create big ideas here. So that's really cool. And then I just built this one recently for irresistible offer. And this one takes a lot of input. This one, you've got the market segment, the main problem they're solving, the desired outcome, the product, the promise, proof points, list your benefits, your retail price, your offer price. I always tell everybody, if you're going to give a discount, you need to give a reason for it. Otherwise, you're just cheapening the product.
Yes, reason respecting bias. Also, it's more believable.
Yeah. And then payment options, your guarantee, the time for expiration, and if it's limited to X amount of units. And again, this thing will create. I don't have one here. I just deleted a couple out because they were specific to clients. But this thing creates an incredible offer. I mean, it leads you right into all the bonus pack and everything. Yeah. It's really, really cool.
People who understand sales and marketing, I always say, create an irresistible offer. So now you have an app for that. I don't have to say it. I'm like, go use John's app.
Yeah. And then this one 3-dimensionalizes benefits.
Yes, dimensionalizing benefits. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can hear it, see it, and feel it. And that's a cool. And all you have to do is just type in the benefit. Like, here's lose weight. And then it will say, you will lose weight quickly and easily. Think back. Here's the part where they're going to see it. Think back to how you felt last time you tried on your favorite outfit and it fit just right. So they're going to be able to see that. And then, or actually, that's the feel it. And then here's picture yourself walking into a room, your confidence soaring as heads turn and people compliment on your stunning transformation. So these benefits are like ultra, ultra powerful. This is what most people do. One dimension.
Yes.
And I can give them the formula for this, but they just don't get it.
100%. And you put it as like bullet points, like 3 bullets or 3 boxes, essentially.
Yeah. So, and it's just simple. You just put in your benefit, like lose weight. That's all I put in here, lose weight. And it graphed it perfectly.
Yeah, because most people think function, which is a no-no in marketing. Not that function doesn't matter, but users don't buy because of the function. They buy because of the benefit to them. And the benefit is never the same. That's what
Exactly.
dimensionalizing benefit means. It means coming up with the specific things that one person says, oh, I really want that to happen to me. And that
Yeah.
is like segments of your customer base, and then saying, okay, this segment responds to this benefit, this segment responds to that benefit, this segment responds to that benefit, and you pick the top three essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this is a branding tool for naming. It'll name a company, it'll name a product. It comes up with unique brand names that are actually have a .com available.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very difficult script to write to get it to actually check the domain names.
Mm-hmm.
But that was pretty cool. Local keywords. This is a cool one. This is another one. It took me a while to figure out the scripting here, but you put the market, the product, the city, the radius, and a couple of seed keywords. Like I did this one for lawn care, and it'll actually it shows you the search volume,
Mm-hmm.
the cost per click, the difficulty to rank, and the total score. So
Mm-hmm.
this total score is like my proprietary scoring method for scoring these keywords. And they're localized. They're totally localized.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Scroll down for a second. Let me see it one more time. Okay. This is essentially you're saying these are the keywords that you want to opt. This is for SEM or SEO.
this is for this is would be for SEO, for local
Got it.
SEO.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the reason I put the cost per click in there is the higher the cost per click, the higher the total score.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm scoring based on monthly volume, cost per click, and difficulty to rank, creating a total score. And in the prompt, I give it the scoring mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
So how to score each category, add them up, and then put them in order of best to worst.
Yep.
So pretty cool stuff. And then I just made another one. This one here, local business finder.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can put in here the type of business, the city, the state, and the radius. Like I put in liquor store, Huntington Beach, California, 15 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's giving me the name, the address, the city, state, zip, their phone number, and then also it's giving their email address, multiple email addresses, whether they're advertising, and if so, what platform they're advertising in. How cool is that?
That's awesome.
Like this one's in Instagram and Google, this one's in Facebook and Google.
Mm-hmm.
So you can decide, like, I wouldn't target somebody that's not advertising.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know the value of advertising. So I would go and target these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, this was a very difficult prompt to generate to do this.
Yeah.
And I could explain this all day long, and I don't know that anyone would be able to create that prompt.
So the prompt is the result of, so guys, the mechanics to develop this product are fully in the platform. So he built these in the platform. So
Yeah.
it's just like because he's got knowledge and you guys have your own knowledge in your field, different levels, different niches, but he essentially captured his knowledge in the form of an app and enabled that for his users, which is the main idea of this product, is to enable you guys, just like John has done here, to build products around his core expertise versus just talking about it to people in the form of a course or mastermind or what have you, which nobody can actually execute.
Yeah. And then I've got free giveaways up here. I've got an actual AI book where I teach them prompting. This is a free social media AI software. And this one is the actual ACT program. Like if somebody wants to learn marketing, they can click on that and then it sells them into my ACT program.
Which is higher price point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So over here, this is actually the sales page for, I called it Quantum. So I call the platform that I sell Quantum. And this is basically an ACT member discount. where my ACT members, if you're already a member, you can buy the platform for $19.97 and get access to all the tools because they're already paying monthly. If you're not an
$19.97.
yes,
Okay.
so they can add this tool if they're a member. But if they're not a member, they're going to pay 97 a month for it.
Got it.
And then we've got a video here where they can see it in action. I walk through the tools, just kind of like what I just did here. And then we've got meet the tools, what people are saying. And then so this page here is really for the ACT members. So let's see here. I think if I take the ACT out of there. Okay, so this is the real page, the 97 a month. So same page, just different pricing. But that's pretty much what I'm doing now. As far as like selling this, I haven't really even promoted this outside of my ACT member group. So far I've just announced this into my ACT members and we've sold about 60 to 70. I haven't really even done a webinar on it yet.
Yeah, this is clearly a webinar product because you're offering something really deep around your expertise and it requires explanation essentially.
Yeah, the people in my ACT program, they totally get it. Like when I showed it to them, they're like, oh my God, that just saves me a ton of work and frustration. But I'm adding a lot of other tools too. I've got probably 20 different tools on my list that I'm going to be putting out over the next couple of weeks. And now I'm thinking about like maybe sectioning it off and having different versions of quantum, like maybe a quantum light that just has some basic tools, and then the full version where they get access to everything and anything I ever create moving forward. So
yeah, you now have that ability with roles, and reducing the price for the light version obviously allows people to come in and learn what you're doing because it's from outside. People can't. So the thing about being ahead of the curve is that most people cannot imagine the thing you're creating. Does that make sense? So it's like selling it is a multi-step process. So you bring them into basic role, light role, whatever you want to call it. And then they're all like, oh my God, I can do this. then they buy additional stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, some of this stuff was just fun, like ad jingles, creating an ad jingle for a business. And a lot of these tools, like also when I roll this out to promote it, I'm going to roll this out to a lot of ad agency owners or online marketing agency owners. And I'm going to tell them, how would you like to create ad jingles for a company? Charge them $99 and you can knock it out in about 3 seconds here with this tool all day long. So that'll be a big selling point. Or even like creating big ideas or even a buyer profile.
That alone is a lot of value.
Yeah. Do you know how much money a person would pay to get that buyer profile?
Like if you hire a marketing consulting firm, like a big one, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's insane.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've got I worked in the ad agencies for years. I worked on a lot of their campaigns, and before I was in the internet, I was in the commercial advertising space I had a photo studio. We did special effects. So I sat in the boardroom of a lot of those ad agencies while they were dreaming up their campaigns, and I got all their formulas. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just turning all their formulas into these tools. So it's really, really cool. It's good stuff.
So mostly you created these, I see some system apps here that you've used. You rebranded and changed the icon and all that. And I see you have the storage there, the vault essentially. And you built the rest of the app seems like using AI App Wizard. I don't see a conversational chatbot like using AI Coach yet. Is that right? Or you've created one?
I've got the basic chatbot.
Gotcha. Yeah, the one system one. Got it. With knowledge base.
Yeah. So I've gotten that far, But I've got a lot of ideas for some really cool apps in here.
Yeah. What is your URL, by the way, so people can check out your product?
Let's see. This one.
Internetdominators.com.
Yeah.
I
Internet
love that name.
Dominators. Yeah. Internetdominators.com. And then I think /quantum will get you there.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, no, that didn't work.
I
I'll,
like the I like your page not found
yeah.
animation.
Yeah. Oh, did you
Spot
see,
dropping.
let me show you too. I'll show you my, my little graphic I made. I'll put this in the chat
Yeah, put it in the chat.
that way. All
So
right.
the subdomain you're using for your landing page is dominators, and your
Yeah.
AI app itself, under what subdomain you're using it?
Yeah. And I'm doing it that way because I'm building all the marketing pieces, and the shopping cart and all that is done through Kartra.
Mhm.
So with that, I just put it on that subdomain. So I'll put this in here for everybody. Okay, cool. Let's get that. Oh, I wanted to show you when you log out here.
Is actai.internetdominators.com. So he uses actai as
Yeah.
subdomain.
So I created this cool
Oh, nice. I
video.
love
Yeah.
that. I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
good recipe. Yeah. Oh yeah. John, how did you, first of all, like when you joined, how did you figure out everything on the platform? I know you're obviously an experienced marketer, so you're pretty tech savvy too. It's very obvious. But tell me, like maybe for people who are just starting, like what would you recommend to them? How would they figure out all the things that you've already figured out? What do you see? We have our own system, but it's better to hear from a customer.
okay. So like I went into your community,
Mhm.
and in there you've got the little recipes like for how to add the buttons, how to change the background, basically how to do all the customization. But you had only one button.
Mhm.
So when I was looking at the code, I'm not really a coder. Like I'm pretty tech savvy, but I'm not a coder for sure.
Mhm.
So when I looked at that, I'm like, holy shit, how do I add a second button?
Mhm.
And I didn't really know. So I went over to Perplexity, and
Mhm.
Perplexity is similar to Chat GPT. I just like it a little better. And
Mhm.
I just put your code snippet in there, and I said, how do I add a second button side by side? And it
Mhm.
spit me out the code. I pasted it in, and boom, it worked.
Yeah, and guys, that is actually a common thing. You can grab our recipes. We will give you guys more a recipe maker app, but you can use you can use ChatGPT, you can use Claude, you can use Perplexity, and just say, hey, this is the code I want to modify to do this, and it does a good job. You got to test it a little bit. The beauty of it is that, I mean, you can break it, but you can then delete it. It's not a problem. Just delete the code
Yeah.
and it goes back to how it was. So, in general, you can play with it until you get the right solution,
Yeah.
essentially.
Oh, believe me, I broke it plenty of times.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Can't be afraid to break it or you won't do anything.
Yeah. So a couple of people want to buy your product, by the way. What for $20 a
Oh,
month? Do you have that option for $20? It's still available.
sure. All I have to do is in front of the quantum, just put ACT quantum.
Okay. Do you want to put in the chat? Because I mean, if people want to see sign up, it's a good. I want you
Oh,
to
yes.
also make some money. So
All right. Let's see here. ACT. All right. Yeah, there's the $20 one. There you go.
here we
In the
go,
chat.
guys. So again, guys, if I'm gonna mention something. This is kind of these watching these things really makes me happy. You guys don't understand how happy it makes me because it is sort of the main vision, and I see it like come to fruition in implementations like John's, because John is obviously an expert, okay, in his field. And essentially the idea behind Deal.ai white label is not to people to just rebrand it and sell it, because how boring is that? Plus the main product is there. The idea is to add your brain essentially to the product and build it around your expertise, so the product is unique. So people, even though like our current users, they obviously know this is a white label of Deal.ai. Deal.ai doesn't do these things, doesn't have John's expertise. Does that make sense? So people would still want to buy the product, and that's kind of that's I think the vision. You have no idea, John, how happy it makes me seeing
Yeah,
these
yeah, it's really
implementations.
cool. Like on one of your first sessions like this, I was on there and I was so excited because I knew what this would allow me to do.
Mhm,
And I put in the chat, I said I'm gonna sell the living shit out of this thing.
mhm. I know you. It's like it's very obvious. This is kind of the way I think about it. Like, our members getting excited about your specific product. It actually tells me, it's a signal to me that it will do really well in a webinar
Yeah.
format. Like if you bring people into a webinar, for those of you guys who don't know, webinar is it's a long form sales process, one to many sales process, which works great for like mid-tier products. So not super low ticket, which is self-checkout. It is not high ticket, which is like on a phone one-on-one sold with a salesperson. It's kind of like the mid-tier. And products that are deliver a lot of value, like mind-blowing, like what you guys saw right now, but they cannot be explained in one sentence because they're a unique product. Like webinar works really well for those kind of products. So, you know.
Yeah, it's cool. And as a lead magnet, I'm giving out a free AI book. So
Mhm.
like I'll go on social media platforms and give away this AI book that teaches people how to prompt and how
Mhm.
to get the most out of AI. And then I introduce them to quantum.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually like ebooks as a book magnet is a huge thing. Somebody's asking for your AI book. So
Oh,
maybe if
sure.
you have a URL for that as well, put in the chat.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. It's like guys, I mean, obviously John is a super experienced person in marketing. Again, the idea here, you see, you guys get excited because not because of the tool is a delivery method. Essentially what you guys are getting excited about is John's expertise becoming a tool that can help you. Does that make sense? That was a main idea behind this product anyway. So
Yeah.
um
I actually opened it up to my group, to all the people that purchased quantum. And I said, if there's anything you guys are struggling with, let me know and I'll just build a tool and put it in there for you.
that's actually
So
a great idea. So do you they
yeah,
post in a community or somehow they let you know that they want this?
yeah,
Yeah, we get a lot of feedback from our community too. So what are, just out of curiosity, what is your higher ticket price point that you sell, if you are willing to share? Like what is, so essentially
sure.
this, you sell the SaaS solution that creates MRR. For people who don't know, that's monthly recurring revenue, residual revenue, whatever you want to call it. So it's a
Yeah.
good base. And then you have, I assume, a high ticket on top. Is a one time. Tell us about it.
Well, typically the way somebody like comes into my funnel normally,
Mhm.
they come in usually to purchase the ACT program. So I
It's just
give
a
away
higher
a lot
ticket.
of it's 497.
Mhm.
It's normally 1997, but I always discount it. And the way I sell it is I say it's still 1997,
Mhm.
but I break it in two payments. You pay 497 today, and then you pay the second 1500 after you've made $100,000 using the program.
Mhm. Great.
And then I say, and by the way, because you bought this platform, I'm going to waive the second fee and have you do a video testimonial when you hit that 100K mark.
Mhm.
So we're really reducing it down to that 497, but then it automatically rolls into 29.95 a month. So just under $30 a month for the ongoing support. and they get access to a weekly call every Thursday where I'm supporting them in all marketing. It could be SEO, it could be funnels, it could be whatever they need help with as far as marketing.
Mhm.
And with the quantum, the reason I priced the quantum at $19.97 was to bump the $30 up to $50.
Mhm.
So my plan is to get all my monthly members paying $50 a month with the addition of the quantum service.
Got you.
And then for anybody outside, it would be ridiculous for them to pay 97 when they can pay 497 and then get the whole thing for 50.
Got you. So essentially $500 first chunk, $50 recurring, and now you have a tool to go with, your ongoing training in one
Yeah.
bundle, and that's your recurring.
Yeah, and they not only get the tool, they get access to me on that call every week
Yeah.
for,
Yeah.
for $49 a month. It's a
Yeah.
no-brainer.
And the tool obviously increases your stickiness, reduces
Mm-hmm.
churn because they have a tool now that you can log in, do things. Maybe they even I can't quite remember if you rolled out the funnel builders, website builders, and stuff like that. But
I didn't roll those out because they would cause too much support.
Gotcha. Yeah.
They would cause me a nightmare.
Yeah. But they are super, super
Yeah,
sticky. Yeah. So,
yeah, yeah. No,
so
they're
if some,
really they're
yeah,
really cool, but I have a lot of people that are not on that level and they drive me absolutely nuts.
yeah. No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
So what I'll probably do is that's where I'll create the new role for
Mhm.
the people and I'll sell that to the ones I actually want to sell it to.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are a bunch of questions in the chat. We want to take them. Uh, is there a way to learn prompts to enhance app development skills? So we have some prompt training in AI Software Academy, like basics of prompt engineering. Having said that, what John is doing here is combining his experience with I don't want to put words in your mouth, but my understanding is that you have a lot of experience and then you do a lot of trial and error to see what type of problems works, and it's just like very painstaking process to get it right, right?
Yeah. Well, generally, like when I create a new app using the platform, usually the first time I test it out, it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to go in and I have to change the prompting. Sometimes I'll go right into the final prompt and I'll just edit it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll go back to the beginning and kind of start my initial and then have it regenerate, create a new prompt.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of depends on how bad my first attempt was.
Yeah, yeah. So for those people who have used AI App Wizard, there's essentially who haven't used it. Essentially, there's an initial prompt which is like explaining what the app does in English, and then the Meta AI essentially takes that and creates a prompt that is optimized for to deliver the results in the app. Now, what John is saying is that sometimes, in order to get the desired output, sometimes he writes a long prompt, detailed prompt at the beginning and has Meta AI like take that and optimize it. Sometimes he works off of the second step. Did I get you right? So you go in
Yep.
there and change everything. So it's a two-step app creation process: initial prompt, AI optimized prompt, and then final product. So sometimes he does it in first level, sometimes he does it in the second level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And
Yeah.
then sometimes I'll actually go in and edit the final prompt to
Mhm.
just really fine tune it.
Yeah. Yeah. There are some stuff for those of you who this is not for the weak of heart. So the second prompt that AI generates is long and it has a lot of markup language to do things like chain of thought reasoning, and then our UI is a smart, removes those things. So it just shows the output, doesn't like the acrobatics that that our platform does. It's hidden from the end user. If you're making your changes in the second step, okay, we show it so that advanced users like John are able to change it. For most beginners, let me put it this way: if this is like you're not an experienced person, just enter everything in step one. Once you get a hang of it, you become really good. Then you can start playing with the step two, essentially.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I remember I had asked you about that at the live event, and you
Yeah.
said just don't break the
Don't
code.
break it. Yeah, exactly.
And I broke it a couple of times, but it's not a big deal because you can just go
No.
back and regenerate it.
Yeah,
So don't
exactly.
don't
Yeah.
no fear.
Yeah, no fear. I say don't break it because I want people to see the kind of like the first version of it so they get a hang of the app. Then it's okay if you break it because now you know what you're expecting. Does that make sense? That's why I'm like in the first go, just go through it. All right. Who's who's Dan Icorit?
Dan Aykroyd. Somebody else told me that recently.
Who's that? I don't know who that is. I
That's
gotta
from the
Google.
Blues Brothers.
And Ghostbusters. You don't know who Dan Aykroyd is? Come on, Alex.
Sorry, man. It's just pop culture. I immigrated to the US in year 2000. So anything before that, I have no idea. Was it before year 2000?
That's actually fair enough. He was big in the 80s and 90s, so that's fair.
Okay. So I made the inputs, but didn't have to call them out. The wizard figures out and makes the instructions and it works. Yeah. So Nicole, it's like the depends on what level of complexity you're putting into the app. So if it's a relatively simple app, honestly, like just explaining it in English and then step two, just not paying any attention. And even if it's imperfect, it does a job because it's a relatively straightforward app. But the things that John are creating are like more like sophisticated apps. So for those, think very systematically and try many times. That's all I can tell you. So, yeah.
Oh,
Um, yeah.
you want me to put my email in case anybody has
Yeah.
any questions or anything?
100%. Yeah. Put
Because
it in the chat.
I'm happy to help the community, any
Yeah.
way I can.
Yeah. And maybe you get some customers from this too, essentially. Yeah, brave man. Somebody said yes. You might get spam. A lot of people message you. Plus, it's gonna be posted in our portal. Like a ton of people are gonna see it. Yeah. So, okay. So, what other questions? John is, by the way, super kind. I met him in person in our first boot camp. Like, is a great dude. He had no problem sharing things. I mean, and there's no judgment on people who don't want to share. A lot of our white labelers, I ask them, they don't even tell me how much they charge and stuff. So, and it's fine. It's fair game. They want to kind of keep it close to the chest. And it's fair game. I literally no judgment. Anybody, if you're a white labeler watching, you don't want to share, perfectly fine. It's just like I
Yeah,
like,
I've
yeah,
found the more I give, the more I get back. So
yeah,
like I said, I'm open book.
yeah. Awesome, awesome. Um, thank you. I've missed part of the Zoom due to patience. Would love to. So this is being recorded. This is being recorded. Yeah, it's being recorded, and we're gonna add it under live training app so you guys can rewatch if you missed the beginning of it. It was really good. Okay. Um, any questions, guys? This is a good opportunity. We have John here. Let's pick his brain on things that are difficult for you guys or things that you're curious about and all that. John, I just signed up for you, John.
Awesome. If he wants
Yeah,
any tools, let me know. I'll build them for.
yeah. By the way, that's another service. Honestly, some of our members who are more advanced with our tools can provide. They can actually help other people for not for free. It's like as a consulting service. You can help others build their white label. And I don't know if you're willing to do that, but
Yeah, yeah, I'm
yeah,
happy to help.
yeah, good. How do you create the apps? I'm having trouble, let's say in reference to the one that helps with buyer avatar. Maybe, John, I know it's a complex thing and you probably don't want to reveal your prompt, obviously, but what is like, can you give high level, like for buyer avatar app, just kind of give people what they need to do?
Yeah, the buyer avatar, that was, like I said, that was almost a 13-page prompt. And
Mm-hmm.
I created it in a Word document,
Mm-hmm.
and I used Perplexity a lot. And I was prompting Perplexity to like build the pieces. That was a really long, complex operation. Like most of them, I can do it, in just right off my head.
Yeah.
But
So maybe the what would help people is, long complex prompts. How do you think through it and write a prompt? Like how do you, yeah.
so like the way I think about it is you're instructing an employee and you
Mhm,
have to tell them exactly what you want them to do and the order in which you want it done. And if you think like that, you think very process oriented,
mhm,
you'll have a lot of luck with this
mhm.
because
Yeah, it's essentially think like you're talking to an employee who knows nothing, has no context. It's like day one employee, but they are really good at sticking to instructions. So
yeah,
that's like the best way to think about it. And that's how you structure the prompt that goes into the first step. And then our meta AI would do the acrobatics on it to improve it. And then the app is generated essentially. I
yeah.
see a question on how many apps total you have roughly.
I think I've got close to 40 right now,
40 apps. How
something
many
like
of
that.
them are custom versus system, roughly?
Most of them are custom. Like the system ones I used is your image tools, your video tool, your chat bot. But I think most everything else is pretty well custom.
Got you. And you created all of them. You haven't used AI Coach Wizard, and you haven't used Academy. Have you used Academy?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've already kind of got that because I already have a membership site that I
Yeah.
run through Kartra.
Yeah.
So I've got that, pretty well covered.
Yeah.
So that,
Some of our white labelers for advanced marketers, they have had all the systems already in place. We just became like a
yeah,
backbone of their AI apps. So essentially, guys, I mean, would it be fair to say like 40 apps, maybe something around that, 30 of them are custom and maybe 30,
yeah,
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 10 of them are system.
that's probably about right.
Yeah. What are you doing to remove branding from Deal.ai from the videos? I'm redoing them with Persona and 11 Labs all set up with Make Automation. I'm not sure, Rick. I understand what you're doing. Branding from Deal from the videos. There are no branded videos in the white label. So, do you have training videos on these apps?
Yes. So I
Okay.
have like I have a whole membership site that's
Hmm.
built with Kartra. So
Hmm.
when somebody makes a purchase, they get access to the login to my membership site in Kartra, and then that's got the login to the platform. And then it's also got all the training in there. And I haven't done a video on every tool yet, but I'm going to be doing that. I've done more like kind of what I just did, kind of walking through processes, like go from this tool to this tool to this tool.
Yeah.
So it's
Do you also provide agency in a box system, meaning do you actually build websites and funnels for your members as a service or no?
yes, we have a whole website development wing of our company.
Gotcha. All the videos in the software academies are branded. Yes, those videos are not rolled out. The academies are not rolled out to white label for that precise reason because they're all branded. All of them have my face in it or someone from my team face in it. Okay. So you got to create your own tutorial videos and all that. John lives down the street from me. Where are you?
I
Oh,
live in
Jeff.
Honey.
Jeff, are you the one who came to our first boot camp too? We had two people from Huntington Beach. Is that right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. We have Huntington Beach mafia here.
yeah, Jeff, you're supposed to reach out to me. I never heard from you.
Okay. So, what other questions do you guys? I see a lot of questions, but I'm trying to answer the ones that are useful to everybody. Someone's moving to Huntington Beach, hopefully from somewhere in California, if you're outside California. Yeah.
Right, just because of this, right?
I want to use personas to keep your teachings. They're obviously brilliant. I need the transcripts from your Vimeo. Okay. You can
I don't
grab. Yeah.
I don't know if it's possible or not, but I know like in where you have the image tool, you can create different projects,
Hmm.
and then you can have the images for that project in that folder. If you could create like a like a project folder for all the tools, like as you build, like with marketing, I've got
A
all these
category,
marketing
like a
tools.
category or folder. So a bunch of apps go inside one folder, a bunch of apps go in another folder.
Well, not only that, but so all the stuff to that campaign would learn and build upon each step.
Got it. Got it.
Kind of like in a chat GPT window, as long as you stay on the same topic, it's learning and getting better and better as it goes forward.
Uh-huh.
Like for me, I'm creating like one tool that goes to the next, and I'm
So you
just kind
want
of,
information fed into the next one, next tool.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be really cool as
Yeah.
something to think about.
Yeah. We can think about that. That is actually so what the next step. There are a few things we want to do in AI App Wizard to increase its capabilities, including, but one of the things I want to get to, and I'll hopefully get there soon, is uh, that instead of just creating output, you can tell it to do something. For example, send an email with that content, or do something like that. You can eventually feed the information to another app. So that is on top of our head. We have like so much engineering built in front of us. Like we have to do these things one at a time. Um, okay. More about the use of white label concept on marketing benefits and the future. Can you remind me how many users can we add to our white label before start charging? I mean, most people have 2 free seats, minus people who joined like right at the beginning. When we launched, we had a special offer. 2 free seats. Um, what is your magic or major traffic source? How do you get the traffic source,
Oh, for me,
John? Yeah.
um, most of my traffic sources come from webinars.
Hmm.
Like I'll have JV partners and stuff. I'll reach out to somebody, and what I do is I specifically target somebody that has my list that I
Hmm.
don't compete with. And I communicate with them. I say, look, well, let's do an affiliate offer. I'll do a webinar to your audience. It'll give them massive benefit, and I'll put some money in your pocket at the same time, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's
So
generally how I drive the majority of my traffic.
got you. So you're more of a JV guy. So you say, hey, let's do this together. You go to people with email lists, blast their list, and do a webinar, get paid customers, share the revenue. That's kind of
Yeah,
your model.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been an SEO guy from way, way back,
Mhm.
but it's funny, all the SEO I did for customers in the first 10 years, like from 1995, the first 10 years of my SEO career,
Mhm.
I sold over $100 million worth of product through SEO traffic for
Mhm.
all my clients.
Mhm.
And I never did it for myself. I
Mhm.
don't know. I must have a screw loose.
Happens.
And I always did it for everybody else, but I never did it for myself. I probably should, but I don't know. I don't need to. It's
In the next couple of days, by the way, this is more of a question for me to know. In the next couple of days, we're going to roll out an affiliate um, app that is optional. People can roll out where affiliates can sell your membership to your white label at a discount,
oh
and they get a commission. I mean, they obviously can sell it at whatever you want, and the white label owner gets a commission on every sale that is made. Would
yeah,
that be useful to you guys, to you specifically?
yeah.
Just so I know.
I
Yeah.
I actually already have that built into my Kartra system.
Great.
So I have an affiliate program that does exactly that.
Great. So we will roll it out for those of you guys who are white label owners who want kind of like a affiliate referral system. We will roll it out soon inside the platform as well. I want to say in the next 2, 3 days, hopefully.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, affiliate stuff is really good. That drives a lot of sales.
Yeah. Especially like for products, again, this is the way to think about it is sometimes affiliates don't work because the affiliates work really well. Affiliate systems in general work really well when the product is unique, but and because of that, it's a little hard to explain. But if the product is in a super competitive space and is something that everybody understands what it is, it's just a different twist on an existing product. Affiliate systems don't work because affiliates cannot market your product, cannot point out small differentiations. Does that make sense? They can point out really big, hugely differentiated products. Affiliate systems work really well. In this case, our product is hugely differentiated. Our white label products are hugely differentiated. The downside of that is most people do not even know that a product like this is possible. So selling it via cold traffic can be a little bit challenging if you're not super experienced in it. Does it make sense? So
Yeah, I always tell my affiliates, don't even try and sell it. Just invite them to the webinar and I'll explain it for you.
yeah, webinar is another system. So it's like you can have an affiliate system, you can have a webinar, like those are like complex products that are differentiated. That's like the way to sell. And somebody was asking about the script of our training video, so you can build training videos around it. I'll think about it. I forgot who asked for it, but I'll think about it. Maybe we provide that so that you guys can create. I don't know if me babbling all the time actually helps people. like if you have a robot saying things that I do, it may not be that interesting. So yeah. My conundrum is, do I give transparency about being white label? Rick, there are two schools. It seems like our white label users are really in two categories. Category one, they're like, okay, this particular AI app ecosystem is not very well known in the outside world. Obviously, deal size is growing, but it's not anywhere close to like, saturated in the market. So they go and rebrand it and sell it. And that's possible right now. But in my opinion, if you want to know my opinion, it is not a very sustainable strategy. The best strategy is to think about it as customization and what is unique about you and your expertise first, and build AI tools around it. And don't sell the AI tool. Sell the benefit that you can provide with your expertise. The AI tool that you're building using the white label is just a mechanism. Essentially, it's a mechanism for John to extend, to amplify his knowledge and make it easier for people to actually do what he knows that needs to be done. That to me is like way more interesting and sustainable and long term than the first category. And in the second category, it doesn't matter if somebody sees it's a white label or not. As you can see, people know that it's a white label, yet they sign up for it because it's an amplification of John's expertise, not our tools. The same with BookDaddy. It's the same thing. A lot of our Deal.ai members sign up for BookDaddy because it is an extension of Jonathan's expertise in writing books and not, essentially our white label. So,
Yeah, with the white label, I would never come out and say, yeah, it's just a white label, because it's more than just a white label.
It's actually not. It's just the name is even a misnomer. The reason at the beginning I was thinking about, okay, is a white label the right word for it? The only reason we call it white label is because it's easy for people to digest. But honestly, it's not. It is a fully customizable AI platform that you can build around yourself. It's really not a white label. So
I had a couple of people that were they were already familiar with Deal AI, and they asked me about it. They said, "Are you a white label of Deal AI?" And I said, I am a white label, but I use it basically. I'm not using it as a white label of Deal AI. I'm using their platform to build my own tool set.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Yeah, that is beautiful, and that's exactly what the intended behavior is. Deal.ai developer, that's a good term, actually. It's a developer. You are developing on Deal.ai's platform. Deal.ai is just a software solution, essentially. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Go High Level start popularized the white label name. I don't know if they made it popular or not, but in general, I think the name is easy for me to explain. That's why we call it that. But it's not. It is a it is building blocks for you guys to develop your own solution. Implementation partners. That's probably a better name. Yeah. Good. My stuff. Transformation CI need. Okay. All right. We're at 1 hour mark. John, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime, anything I can do
Yeah.
to help, I'm happy to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, thank you for it's your fishing season, you told me. So you took a break from your fishing to come on this call. I appreciate you. I'm sure our members appreciate it, and we will post this in live training. It is recorded and will be posted in live training. And if you have any questions, guys, for John specifically, he was kind enough to share his email, but also you can probably reach him in our community or just join his program. He seems to know exactly what he's doing. So with that, thank you, John.